Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
You're all welcome.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Please, can we start the presentations? The group that are present can start. Others will join us as they come. So let's start so that we can finish. Your class did not present last week. The other groups, groups A and B, started their presentations last week. So your class did not start. So those that are around, share your slides and let us start. The others can join us as they come. Introduce yourselves and start.
Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Group 1. We are presenting on the rights and responsibilities of the adolescent.
Louder, please.
Okay. Please imagine a 15-year-old girl who wants to go to school, make her own choices, and live in a healthy live a healthy life, but she is being denied education, has no access to healthcare, and is not allowed to speak for herself. Today's presentation will highlight some of the rights and responsibilities of the adolescents. It will help us to understand that their rights and responsibilities help them to be better individuals of the society. It also helps us to understand that it is important for us to guide them, because although they have rights, they also need to be responsible members of the society. So we are saying that their rights, adolescents' rights, are the freedoms and protections that we give to young people because of their age and level of development. And adolescents are said not to be full adults, neither are they children. So they need protection from harm as well as the chance to make decisions and express themselves. Kindly slide forward. Rights of the adolescents are many. As we look at a few, one is the right to education. Every adolescent has the right to go to school. But let's be honest that some are forced into early marriages, some get dropped out from school due to early pregnancy or lack of financial support. Education will not only go back. Any side back, okay. Education helps to open opportunities for these adolescents, build their confidence, and also help them make better life decisions. For example, when an adolescent girl is educated, she is more likely to delay pregnancy and take care of her own health. So when we provide education and we don't deny it, or we don't stop them from going to school, and that in all will help make their future unlimitless. Can you slide forward? Another right we'll talk about is the right to health care. As midwives, this one is very close to us. So adolescents have the right to access friendly and non-judgmental health care. But in reality, most of these adolescents are afraid to seek care because they feel they'll be judged, or because they feel there will be no lack of there will be no confidentiality, or because sometimes we even don't take them seriously. So in the end, they suffer in silence. Our role as midwives is to create a safe space for these adolescents so as for them to feel safe and not be judged at the healthcare setting. Can you slide forward? Another right of an adolescent is the right from protection from abuse and exploitation. Adolescents are vulnerable, and unfortunately, many of them get abused, either physically, sexually, or emotionally, or some are even exposed to child labor or human trafficking. Sometimes they don't even speak up. So as healthcare providers, we need to not just treat, but we also need to observe these children. We have to listen to them and protect them. Every small sign may be an indication, any small sign at all may be an indication that something is wrong. So we have to go further and then help these adolescents. Any slide for it. Adolescents also have the right to education. If adolescents don't get the right or correct information, they will get it from a source which may be wrong, or they will get it from a wrong source which may not yield well. And that is where the problem starts. So they need accurate information about their sexual life, about sexual health, about relationships, about their bodies, about the changes that occurs within them. And when they are informed, or when they get the right information, they're able to make safer choices, and then they're also able to prevent themselves from becoming pregnant too early, and it also protects them from infections. Information is not luxury, but it's very, very necessary. Kindly slide forward. Adolescents also have the right to express their freedom, or they have the freedom of expression. And this is to say that sometimes they are being told to keep quiet, they are too young, they shouldn't talk. But when giving them the opportunity, it helps to build their confidence, it helps them to think critically, and then it also helps them to be valued. They feel they are part of whatever that is ongoing. So we should allow them to express themselves, but guide them in how to express themselves so they don't abuse that right. Okay, can you slide for it? Now, in privacy, with regards to privacy is very important, especially for adolescents. So just imagine an adolescent comes to the clinic and everyone knows why they are there. Everyone knows what they want or what is wrong with them. That alone can stop them from coming again. So they need to feel that sense of privacy or confidentiality. So they can feel that their information are safe, their contents are confidential. And when privacy is respected, it will also help to build trust in the society or in a hospital setting. Can you slide for it? Adolescents also have the right to participate in everything. So right to participation. So we should involve them in our homes, in the school, in the community, in the country, wherever that they find themselves. They should feel that sense of participation. It makes them feel responsible, and it also helps to develop their leadership skills and helps them to grow into confident individuals of the society. Now, in as much as adolescents have, can you slide for it? In as much as adolescents have rights, they also have responsibilities, because rights without responsibilities can lead to misuse. So, some of the responsibilities include, but are not limited to, the ones that you mentioned below. Can you slide for it? So they have the right to respect others. They are responsible to respect others, not just elders, but everyone. Can you slide for it? They also have to follow rules and regulations to maintain order in the society. They also have the responsibility to take care of themselves by eating well, avoiding risky behaviors, or indulging in risky behaviors, seeking good or practicing self-care activities such as eating well, exercising, among others. Then they also have the responsibility to take their education very seriously, because their future depends on it, whether formal or informal. That's why education that they find themselves in, they are responsible for taking it seriously. And then they also have they are also responsible to contribute positively to the society, not engaging in harmful acts, among others. Thank you. This brings us to the end of our presentation. So we see that adolescents, this stage is a very sensitive stage in life, and we should protect their rights. But if we fail to guide them with their responsibilities, then we will raise irresponsible individuals in the community. So as part of our efforts to make a healthier world or healthy country, we need to protect their rights and then also guide them with their responsibilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. You are which group? Group 1, or groups were not assigned? Which group are you?
We are group 2. Please, we are group 1. Oh, sorry, we are group 2.
Group 2.
Yes. Group
So you don't have any, you don't know your group, whether you are one or two. You are the group that has presented on rights and responsibilities of adolescents. Any question? Ima, of that your video. Ima, of that video. Questions, contributions from group members or any other person. Questions for them or contributions. No hand is up. Okay, in absence of questions and contributions, can we listen to another group? Any other group that is around should present. You send me your slides and your names. Any other group around should present.
So good evening. This is Takwari Center. Good evening. This is Takwari Center presenting on. Wow. Please go back. So we are Takwari Center presenting on parents-adolescent relationship and communication. This is against CODeL group.
Who is talking?
Please, I'm Regina Mia from Takwari Center. Against
Regina.
back. Amia, A-M-I-A-H.
Okay.
So, parent-adolescent relationship and communication refers to the way parents and teenagers interact, understand each other, and build trust, including during adolescence. So, when we talk of adolescence, basically, we are talking of age group of 10 to 19 years. And we all know that in adolescence, the transition is from childhood to adulthood, which also involves the physical, sexual, and psychological and social development changes, all taking place at the same time. So it also includes love and affection. And when we talk of love and affection in adolescence, love is just not comforting. It's an unconditional acceptance and a source of emotional stability. Whilst adolescence seems to pull away, they still need love, warmth, and nurture. It tells them that they are worthy of love even when they make mistakes or are acting difficult. So two is trust. For adolescents, trust is earned by being honest even when it's hard. Trust, you stick to your promises so that adolescent learns to trust whatever you say. You also have respect. So with respect, as adolescents, they can be very, very difficult and rebellious and outrageous. So despite this, things need to be treated with respect. Parents can demonstrate respect by recognizing and appreciating that differences and treat them as an individual, trying to see things from other points of view and to consider their needs and feelings. We also have guidance as one of the things that also helps adolescent relationship. Guidance in a sense that guidance is setting out a firm and boundaries whilst allowing space of freedom. For instance, instead of judging, just going giving others, parents can guide by explaining why behind rules, especially I see my child smoking. I have to let my child understand the consequence of smoking, the health aspect of what he or she is doing, and the complications. We also talk of discipline. So it's not about quitting or shaming, but teaching responsible behavior and self-control. Adolescents are more likely to follow rules if they understand the reason rather than because I said so. So communication is the process by which parents can share thoughts, feelings, ideas, and information. It can also be verbal and nonverbal communication. So verbal communication, that's talking, discussing, asking questions. Nonverbal communication also includes facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, gestures. Good communication helps both parents and adolescents too. This next slide. Understand each other better. One would ask, how will one understand each other better? If we involve things in rule settings, parents will create rules and consequences when they help make them rules themselves. So when parents involve kids in making decisions, they understand that you and I set these rules, so I will not fuck up. I will not mess up at all. And also, we also solve problems peacefully. So we solve problem peacefully by communicating concerns firmly but calmly and explain their positions to help them understand the reason. Responding too strongly leads to yelling and screaming and can also shut down conversations. They also have to avoid misunderstanding. I will ask, how will we avoid misunderstanding? We choose battle carefully. Not all things are worth on argument. So help them understand their good and bad decisions that can affect them and make them know their differences in lives. We also help them build emotional closeness. How will we build emotional closeness with adolescents? So we build emotional closeness by at least in the morning, can you say hi to my baby? What's up? Have you eaten? All these things, I mean, bring closeness of the child to you. We are also saying the importance of good parent relationship and uh, communication. One, we promote trust and openness. So when you adolescents feel free to talk about their problems, when you open up to adolescents, they are free to tell their problems. Maybe when they went to school, somebody taught their bobs, they'll tell you. Somebody fingered them, they'll be able to tell you because you're opened. But when you are too strict, they will hide those things from you. We also encourage adolescents to make good decisions when they portray positive behavior. Importance of it is also that it also reduces conflict, misunderstanding, and argument in the home. Adolescents also feel loved, accepted, and secure by developing them emotionally. It also improves self-esteem and confidence and develop a positive self-image. When parents have good relationship with kids, the kids always have that confidence. You can feel boldness to stand in front of people. They don't shy because they know that in their house, whatever they are doing at the right distance. So those kids don't easily feel shy, or they have that boldness to stand in front of people and talk. We also say that when you have good parent relationship and communication, it also helps prevent risky behaviors such as drug abuse, early sexual activity, and bad peer influence. Because the parents and the kids the adolescents have very good relationship. Why would I hide from you? I'll open to you. If I'm into drug, you will see because already we have some time, we talk together, so you will see some little things that is that deviating from the child. We also encourage that when you have good parents, adolescent relationship and communication, emotional support from parents can motivate and improve adolescent academic performance in school. Imagine a home where there's no peace, where whatever you do is being judged. Look at such kids, how they behave. They behave. They are always otherwise. This next slide. So we have characteristics of adolescents, characteristics of a healthy parent-adolescent relationship. So what are the features that you see that you know, no, this one, the parents have a healthy relationship with their kids? So we said one, mutual respect. And when we are talking of mutual respect, it's basically valuing other people, okay, and seeing them as they are and respecting them. Those kids also have trust. Kids that have a good, healthy relationship with their parents, they trust people. They don't feel insecure. They're also honest. If it's blue, it's blue. If it's red, it's red. They don't do come see come sa with their things. They also show love and care. They show love and care to the other people around them. They also have patience. Kids that have good character, good healthy relationship with their parents are always patient. So we ourselves here can even see among ourselves those who don't have patience, those who have patience from the way our upbringing was brought. They also have listening to each other. They also have listening to each other. They don't easily judge. They pay much attention to whatever people say before they respond. They also have clear rules and boundaries. They know when to say yes and when to say no. When you see such kids, you know that they have a very healthy parent-adolescent relationship. They don't easily follow the crowd. They have their rules and they have their boundaries. They are always there to support and they always have support and encouragement. So we all know that adolescents need support as they struggle with problems that may seem unimportant to the parents or families. So they need praises when they have done their best. They need encouragement to develop interest and personal characteristics. So we also say that when one of the things that you see about a healthy parent relationship is that those kids have understanding. They have understanding changes. So those kids understand the world and what is going about, and know the right choices of ways to make at any time. Point. This next slide. So we are talking of barriers to effective parent-adolescent relationship communication. When you talk of barriers, the things that hinders effective parent-adolescent relationship. We are saying one. So there are some factors that can make communication very difficult. One is generational gap. So that is parents and adolescents may think differently. You can take our generation now, our parents' generation, our forefathers' generation. You can see that there's mass difference in the sense that one of the days that we used to go and sit in people's room to watch TV, that is even black and white. Yeah, we were even scrolling our eyes and we're still watching. But we thought it was very nice. Now everybody has television. If you don't even have television, you have a radio, so you can listen to news. You can listen to other things that are current. So with the generational gap, parents think differently from their adolescents. Adolescents see that, oh, challenge, this is a booming place to be, and we are seeing otherwise. We also talk of poor listening skills. So when parents don't have that listening skills, adolescents may interact or ignore each other. So we are saying that with poor listening skills, that's when adolescent is talking to the mother is not interested because I'm busy, I'm trying to go to work. They're also there telling me about the school stuff. So when we do that, it hinders effective parent-adolescent relationship. There also says harsh criticism or judgment. Adolescents may fear being blamed or shouted at. So let's take it like your child comes home with an issue of mommy and when I went to school, blah 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 blah. I mean, Charlie, I've come home and I'm really tired. I come to them and tell me when you went to school, blah blah. So you see that hey, keep quiet. No, I mean, I won't even wait for you to give those your school another story. So you shouldn't be judgmental. You should be very you should not be harsh in criticism. You should listen. Let the adolescent finish whatever she's saying. Analyze it and make judgments. So these are some of the things that we do that hinders the effective communication between parents and adolescents. Then we also have busy schedules. Let's take we our midwife, for instance. You have morning, afternoon, and night shifts. You come home, you are cooking, after you have sex in the night. I mean, so many work. And you are still coming here to come and sit down and talk to your child about a relationship. So that time now you don't even get because you are busy. Now modern parents now don't have time because we ourselves were not even parents before being able to deliver you. So you don't even get that time to sit down and listen to whatever you have for us. We also say use of authoritarian presenter style. We all know that authoritarian presenter style, those parents, I don't even know how to get started. Authoritarian parents, listen, they are like dictators. You see, which country can I even take the dictator? Like, let's say Iran on this Trump, Donald Trump. I just dictating. You have no say. Do as I say. You don't have to talk about anything. You just do as they say. So those are the things that can hinder parents adolescent relationship. I also saying that peer pressure. Charlie, we all have been adolescent before. We all know the pressure that it entails. Your friends are booming, wearing short skirts, dancing, going to parties, and you are there wearing a cabin and say they are going to church. Charlie, so those are things that hinders effective parent-adolescent relationship. They also talk of emotional changes in adolescents, mood swings. Already now, she have a perception. So they act when they come and they're moody and you're also moody. You hinder their barriers. They are very sensitive and desire for independence. Because now I was not having breasts. Now I've seen breasts. I've seen hair coming to my private parts and those aspects. So already now she feel some wavy. So they always want to be alone. They always want to be alone. So some of these are some of the things that hinders. They are the barriers of effective distance. Then you also say lack of trust. If adolescents feel unsafe, they may hide information. It doesn't tell you something. Maybe my dad is fingering me or my dad did this to me. Then within a second, you have told their dad. Such a child will never trust you. And when he or she has other issues, will never lay them out to you. So all these are things that are barriers or the things that hinders effective parent and adolescent relationship communication. Please, next slide. So we have ways to improve parent-adolescent communication. Ways. So one is to listen attentively, give full attention, avoid interruption. So when a child starts saying something, we have to wait and listen quietly. Okay, we don't interrupt. Just listen. They show interest by saying, yeah, oh yeah, Charlie, something like that, yeah. Oh, okay, nod. So all this are showing, so what happened? So all this is the child knows that my mom or my dad shows interest in whatever he or she is saying. Then we are also creating time to talk. Have regular conversations. How do we have regular conversations? We know we all have busy schedules, so at least once in a week, twice in a week, all depends on your schedule. So you try as much as possible to find time for your kids and talk to them. Then also eat together. So at then times when we were kids, we used to eat in a big bowl. All of us, we were thinking that it's the poor that eat in big bowls. Now, socialization of this urban Ghana or rural areas. Now we all have plates. Each child eats on their own because we are teaching them table manners. So when we do that, that unity, that bond that comes, it's not there again because now everybody with the bowl and the cutlery set. You don't want to eat together and the soup will be touching other people's, and so we are trying to avoid it. But when we do that, that improves that parent bond because the child feels a sense of belonging. Then we also said creating time to spend quality time. Quality time is not about the whole day, but at least 30 minutes of your time with the kids also help adolescents to improve their relationship with parents and communication. Then we also said using a calm and respectful tone. Avoid shouting, insults, or threats, because when you do that, it drives them away. We also say that encourage openness. Let adolescents express feelings without fear. We also avoid harsh judgment, as we already said. Correct with love and understanding. We are explaining rules and expectations. Set clear boundaries and reasons for them. Let them understand why you set those rules, and make sure you set those rules with the kids so that when they know they're also part of the rules setting and regulations, they abide by it and they don't mess up with those rules. We also say show empathy. Try to understand what the adolescent is going through. So we show empathy by not be, I don't say sympathize, but empathy. Have that feel, what if it was me? How would I feel? Okay. So that those ways to improve parent relationship. Then we also say being a good role model. I'm saying don't eat chap. Don't eat and make noise while sitting on the dining table. But me myself, when I'm eating, I make noise and even make noise with the cutlery so that the next door neighbors or those walking by the road hear that yes, this house they are eating. Noise. Yeah, you are saying your child shouldn't do that. So whatever you are doing, remember that the child is looking at you and will demonstrate and follow you. So also discuss sensitive topics openly. Example, sex education. We get up and we say, hey, your toto, what is toto? Vagina is vagina. Penis is penis. You don't use other this thing because you think that it's rare. We don't use those words. If it's toto, we don't have toto in the parts of body. We have vagina, we have penis, we have breast. Mention those words so when they go out and somebody mentions it won't be a new thing to them. Okay. Thank you very much. Please, next slide. Then common areas of conflict between parents and adolescents. So conflict often arises over one, friends and peer groups. We all know that all parents want their children to be at a better position. So when they pick friends that we don't like, we always have issues with them. Then we also say, show me your friend, I'll show them your character. So even that phrase alone, when parents see those ones, can also trigger them to have conflict with their kids. They are saying that dressing appearance. The way we used to dress is not now the way nowadays adolescent dress. So these are some of the ways that can bring conflict among parents and adolescents. Then the use of phones or social media. Hardly were we using phones at that era. You don't even have a TV. How much more a phone? So at this era, because of the way they use phone, buy phones for them because we think we are going to work. We need to know what is happening at the house. We buy the Android phones that has a lot of internet that children can over abuse the purpose of the phone. So these are some of the ways that can also bring about a conflict among parents. Then curfew and freedom. We all know that we all set boundaries. We give the chance that permissive attitude, like giving them those freedom, but we give them time, and kids don't like. Adolescents don't like that, so they want to play the whole day. But you tell them, we play, come home by 5. They have to understand. So those are the ways that brings about conflict between parents and this one. They were also saying that school performance. You now, the mother now, when you're in school, you're not getting high mark. You now, you're like me, you're getting 20th, 50th position. Now you don't pass, you want your child to pass. You want your child to get first position. So with this one, definitely to bring conflict among you and the child. Then we are also saying household choices. Household choices, because we think we are now mothers, we are parents. I'm paying school fees, I'm cooking, I'm going to work. So you there, the washing bowls, cleaning of the house, cleaning of the windows are just yours. Make them so the kids say, how every day we are this woman, this old woman, every day we are giving plenty work to me. So when you're also saying that romantic relationship. See, at this stage, this child see somewhere you have sent to a how do you call it, man side. Even take a boy at maybe a TTI or something. See that your mother go vex. But this one is another problem. So this the relationship now that you choose now will even kill your mother. So this one bring conflict among you. Then we are saying that obedience and discipline. Parents want their kids to be obedient and discipline. That's the way the rules that we set, abide by them so that you live peacefully in the house. And that time, the kids don't also they think that they are on their own, so they want to have their freedom and do things on their own. And that's what brings about conflicts among parents and adolescents. So these conflicts are normal, but should be handled thoroughly through dialogue, negotiation, mutual respect, and clear rules. Please, next slide. So what are the role of parents in adolescent development? What role do we parents have to play in adolescence? One, parents should offer guidance and counseling. Two, mentor behavior without over controlling. So when you are you monitor behavior without control, you see, oh, you should have done this. This way would have been better. They shouldn't see us as controlling them. Also teach values and morals. We all know we have values and morals in this country. So our values are what we believe in, and the morals are the things that will help the values be accomplished. So let them know their values and their morals in the society. They also encourage education and responsibility. Education is not all about book, but also household sense. It's like having a book sense without home sense is equal to zero. They also help adolescents make safe choices. So I want my child to be a medical doctor. My child wants to be an artisan. What is wrong with that? If you want to be an artisan depends on the type of artisan you want to be. So you can modernize it. Okay, you can modernize it. Maybe I don't want it to, the child wants to sell tomatoes in bags, in cartons, not to carry it in home. So if you don't want that, let them modernize that profession that you prefer in the same on a choice. They also support independent gradually. You see, it shouldn't be like, let me take you to school, let me drop you. If I don't drop you, you'll be bad. You can show the child the way and let them know that, oh, you can cross here. So that one day that your car that you always drop, if it gets spoiled, the child wouldn't get messed up. The child can also go. So you support in it, let them feel independent, let them leave the thing for the child to do. Okay. Don't always be a mother who is always doing for what if you die today? Who will help those kids? Eh? Okay. So provide love and emotional support, as we discussed earlier. This next, okay. So effects of poor parent-adolescent relationship. So poor relationship or poor communication may lead to one, rebellion. When someone talk of rebellion, someone may ask, what is rebellion? So rebellion itself is a violent action organized by a group of people who refuse to accept their government power and are willing to use force to oppose it. So with the rebellion, it's a group of people. So they're always acting violent. And we have something we call secrecy. So secrecy is an act of keeping something secret or a state of being kept secret. So if you don't have that good parent-adolescent relationship, kids will always hide things from you. Just see this serious or people who kill or this Ataye. Ataye could have mentioned all those people that that helped him to kill him. But you see, because of how secrecy he is, he was able to hide some. So even if you even catch him, you do whatever you do, you never mention those people name. So if we had a good relationship, such things wouldn't be happening. We also have low self-esteem. When kids have good parent relationship, they will not be able to, they will have that self-esteem. They will not have low self-esteem. They feel confident talking to other people. They don't see themselves as inferior. Okay. So we have to ensure that our kids don't feel inferior in front of people. So when they go and people are messing them up, no, even my house can't put, even though my head is a tigolo, my people love me in the house. Okay. So we also have depression or emotional stress. So effects of poor parent adolescent also brings about what? Depression. So most of us that have depression started from our adolescent age. So we can just see our characters in some of these poor parent adolescent relationships. So when you don't have that freedom to speak out, you keep things, keep things, then you end up getting those issues. You also have poor school performance. I can bet you that most of us that have issues with our performance is all because of how our parents had a poor parent adolescent relationship with us. You never come home to ask you, have you read? All is about work. So whether you get 0, 45, 50th, you've been down well because you were not last. So sex attitude also have poor performance in the school. They also said substance abuse. So with poor parents, I don't understand. The effect of it is that it brings about substance abuse. The child can endure because I think that if I take alcohol and drink, I'll forget of what the issues I had in the house. Or when I smoke, I'll forget of the problems I have. But forgetting that when the smoke disappear from your face, you still remember the situation that you were in. You also have a delinquent behavior. Those children are always deviant, very, very deviant. Then early pregnancy or risky sexual behavior. If most of us were being we're having good parents-adolescent relationship, most of us wouldn't have even endured the sex before marriage. Okay, we would have understood the consequence of it. That is, we could have known what would have we would have learned that that situation is not a permanent condition. So one day come out from it. They also will not have run away. Will not run away from homes. So these are some of the effects of poor parent-adolescent relationship. This next slide. So in conclusion, a good parent-adolescent relationship and effective communications are essential for healthy adolescent growth and development. So when parents show love, patience, respect, and understanding, adolescents are more likely to become responsible, confident, and emotionally stable adults. Thank you so much for your understanding. And please, you are welcome to ask questions, contributions, and about the movie community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Regina. Questions, contributions?
Good evening. My name is Mercy Osei, and I'm presenting on behalf of Tamale Center January batch. Please, next slide. Where?
Charlotte, of that video.
So our presentation or our topic for discussion this evening is gender roles and peer pressure. Gender roles and peer pressure. Now, when we say gender roles are the social expectations, behaviors, and responsibilities that a society considers appropriate for people based on their gender. So what this basically means is that when we say gender roles, we know that when we talk about gender, we have male and then we have female. So the society or the community in which we find ourselves in, we have, we have allocated some roles to a particular gender. So there are some things that we will say that this is expected of the males to do, and then these things are also expected of females to do. So when we talk about gender roles, that is what we basically mean. These roles aren't biologically fixed. They are shaped by culture, tradition, religion, and historical context. So it means that these roles are not something that the person is born with. Something like when we talk about gender roles, usually we say that women are supposed to cook in the kitchen. Nobody is born with those skills. But it is just the society and the culture in which we find ourselves in that has coined us to be like that, like males are supposed to do this and then females are supposed to do this. For example, masculine roles emphasize dominance, strength, stoicism, which is not showing emotions, independence, and being the provider. So most of the time, the males in our society are expected to look masculine. They are expected not to show their emotions. So sometimes when somebody even lost or somebody loses a beloved family member, we always say that, oh, you are a man and you are crying. These are some of the gender roles that have been apportioned onto males. They are expected to put up some of these qualities or some of these behaviors. Please, let's go on. Now, when we talk about peer pressure is the influence exerted by a social group on its individual members to conform to the group norms and then expectations. Peer pressure, it simply means that for you to be part of a certain kind of group, or for you to be part of, a certain cycle of friends, there's this pressure on the individual to behave like them. Sometimes they set up some kind of norms and then rules for themselves, say that if you want to be part of such a group, you should behave like that. So there's this kind of pressure on you That is basically what we mean by peer pressure. Peer pressure acts as the daily on-the-ground enforcement of these broad social rules, that is gender rules, and how it plays out in different stages of life. So by this, we are basically trying to say that when somebody is a male or a female, the person belongs to a certain cycle. Like naturally you belong to females, naturally you belong to males. And there's this pressure on you to behave as such. So the peer pressure is what enforces the gender roles on individuals. So as we read in the previous slide, we saw that males are supposed to be masculine, they are supposed to be this, they are supposed to be that. So even if naturally you don't have that kind of feature, there's this pressure on you to act that way because you belong to a group of males. So I would like to give an example, like if you have friends and then you are going out with them and they have a certain way of dressing, you are expected to dress that way, even if you don't want to dress that way. And that is what basically means when we say peer pressure, that is what we are basically trying to explain. Please, let's move on to the next slide. How gender roles and peer pressure interact. So there's an interaction between gender roles and then peer pressure. The first one is that gender roles socially constructed expectations about how men and women should behave. So this is basically trying to explain what gender roles means. Examples: boys may be expected to be assertive or athletic, while girls may be expected to be nurturing or appearance focused. So most of the time, sometimes even in our homes, when boys don't even bath regularly, they don't have a lot of pressure on them. But then when girls don't bath regularly, you find our parents saying that, hey, you are a female and then you don't like bathing and all that. When you see a lady who loves to play football, usually in our context, sometimes we even want to liken this female onto a male. We want to say that, hey, you are behaving like a man. This is an example of gender roles. So there are certain things that if a male does, it is expected of them. And if a female does, it is expected of them. We don't usually expect them to interchange those roles. And then cultural variations. Norms differ across society, but most cultures have some form of gendered expectations. So in as much as we are saying that there are gender roles, there are some cultures and some communities, probably even outside Ghana, where these distinct differences are not there. But then, even if you go down into it, you realize that definitely there are some roles that are expected for females to play, and then there are some roles that are expected for males to also play. Please, next slide. Types of peer pressure. Now, we have the positive and then the negative peer pressure. When we say positive peer pressure, it means that it is the kind of pressure that encourages a good behavior. Example, studying, working hard, and etc. So if an adolescent belongs to a positive group, there will be a positive peer pressure. Let's say your child goes to school and then becomes part of a group study. You realize that there will be the pressure on this child, even if the child doesn't like studying. If the child finds him or herself in a group of very good students and he or she doesn't like studying, whenever they are going to study, the child will be pressured to follow them to go and study. And then the negative peer pressure, it encourages harmful behaviors or risky behaviors. Examples, substance abuse, unsafe sex, etc. So it's the vice versa of the positive. If the child or an adolescent finds themselves in a negative group, they will definitely be negatively influenced. Now, the role of peer pressure on gender role. The role of peer pressure on gender role. Peer pressure reinforces gender role, especially among young people, and it plays out in different stages of life. So we are trying to mean that peer pressure is what causes people to act or behave in a certain way. So if the child is a boy and would behave in a masculine or a manly nature, it is because of the peer pressure from the society or from the group the child belongs to. So the first one is that in childhood, there is gender police. Boys don't cry or show fear. Please, sorry, the writings are a bit little. So we are saying that boys don't cry or show fear, else will be called a crybaby or whipped by peers. So usually we don't expect boys. In childhood, there's something we call childhood or gender police. So whenever somebody has a baby boy and the child lies crying at little things, usually we call the person, are you a cry boy? Are you a girl? Why are you always crying? So that gender role even begins right from childhood. Even when the child is a baby or a toddler, it is expected that a male is supposed to be tough. Even if the child falls down and it is a male, we are not expecting the child to cry. So when the child cries, usually, and it's a boy, we call the person, hey, are you a girl? Why are you crying at the least thing? He is pressured to play it tough. He is pressured to play its rough spots and then avoid anything girly. So we don't expect boys to be girlish. So usually in our communities, if we have boys who in a way become effeminate or they act like girls, we nickname them, usually we call them kojobesia and all those things. It is because of the gender roles, the things we have in mind that this is expected of a boy. So if a boy is not playing football and is playing with dolls and is playing ampe with girls and the rest, this boy is looked at in a certain way because we believe that he is not behaving in his gender role. Now, girls, on the other hand, are pressured to be quiet, accommodating, and polite. A girl who is assertive and loud might be labeled as bossy. So usually we expect that girls should be calm and then all that. So if a girl is loud, is able to talk about their worries and their fears, even after the girl has grown into a lady, ladies who are bold and then are able to speak out are nicknamed as what? Bossy. We think that they are proud or they are bossy and all that. So that is it. So when it comes to adolescence or when in the adolescent stage, now there's the need for this perfect body where gender role becomes tightly linked with sexuality and identity. Boys are pressured to objectify women and brag about encounters to the muscular and tall white. Sorry, please. I take that again. Now, in the adolescent, the perfect body, where gender roles become tightly linked with sexuality and identity, boys are pressured to objectify women and brag about encounters. So usually, when they even get to the secondary school, please, the one who is on kindly mute.
What have I done? What have I done? You put your homework book on the floor. I will shout again.
Please mute yourself. So
please, let's continue. So boys are at a certain age, boys are expected to like have this kind of encounter with ladies, and then sometimes in the secondary schools they tend to converse about all these things. They are expected to assume a certain stature. So you usually see that in the adolescence, sometimes the boys, they want to have this kind of physique, some of them going to the gym, some of them exercising, some of them trying to get beards and all those things. It is just because of the gender role that they want to identify themselves in, and then the pressure that they find it. So sometimes you see boys who don't have beards, and their friends who have beards will be even laughing at them that they don't look masculine enough. And then girls are pressured to be sexy, beautiful, and attract the opposite sex. This is another gender role based on girls. They are expected to look beautiful, sexy, and all that. So it is really worrisome in this time that you see that because of this pressure, some girls even go to the extent of doing so many things. Now in the secondary schools, you find girls trying to show that they have, big bums, trying to twerk, some of them trying to assume a certain stature that they don't actually even have. So it is just because of the gender role, the gender role and then the peer pressure on them. They all want to look a certain way. So if you have an adolescent at that age, because of that gender role, or because of the demand on the child to look a certain way. Sometimes some of them don't even eat because they want to, especially the girls, they want to get what? A flat tummy. They want to look sexy. Everybody wants to get sisifia, very Coca-Cola shaped body and all that. So all these things, once the child doesn't have these things, then it breeds, like it serves as a breeding ground for body shaming and then competition. So if the girl finds herself in a group or a circle of friends who have a certain physique, and in one way or the other, naturally she is thick or she is big, then there is body shaming. Why is it that all your friends have this physique and you are big? So if we don't manage these things well, it can bring about a whole lot of issues. Now, in adulthood, there is subtle enforcement. For males, pressure to be breadwinners, not show weakness or too much interest in parenting or domestic tasks. So in adulthood, males or men are not supposed to show weakness. So when there's a loss of a dear relation, men are not supposed to cry. Usually we say that women, please, can you mute yourself?
Auntie Joyce Lechu, please mute yourself.
So men are not supposed to show weakness, and then usually it is said that parenting is for women. It is the woman who is supposed to bring up the child, and then domestic tasks such as washing, cooking, and the rest. Usually men are not expected to do that, and then girls too are supposed to be perfect wives, mothers, homework makers, and successful and devoted partners. Above all, maintain a youthful appearance. So you realize that even in in adulthood, there's this gender role. We've spoken about that of the males, and then in that of the women or females, you are expected to be a perfect wife. You're supposed to be a perfect mother. You are supposed to maintain your home and also be successful at your own business, and also be devoted to your partner. And above all, you also need to maintain a youthful appearance. So that is why we have a lot of people going under the knife at this stage. It's because of the gender roles that have been assigned, that even after having 4 kids, you are supposed to still have that youthful physique. Yes, it is because of this gender role and then peer pressure on women. And it is causing all these things. People are doing all these things and then they are getting a lot of issues here and there. Please, the next slide. Effects of peer pressure on gender role. Now, the first one is that it can lead to anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. So if you listen very well to what we just spoke about, once you are under pressure to look a certain way, to act a certain way, and then you find yourself not being like that, you will become anxious. If you are not somebody who has really built yourself mentally, if an adolescent hasn't been built mentally, then the depression can set in, and then this person can have low self-esteem. So the example I gave, a secondary school girl who finds herself in the cycle of girls who have flat tummy, they have a little bit of big bum, and then they look so perfect. And she, by nature or like biologically, looks big. So there's this pressure on her to also look like her friends. She tries exercising, she tries dieting, and it's not working. So this child or this adolescent or even this individual, a mother who has delivered, and now she's trying to get back into shape and it is not working, you might become anxious. Depression will set in, and then eventually there will be low self-esteem. So these people who are being pressured to be in a certain gender role have low self-esteem. And then suppressed identity. People are forced to hide parts of themselves. So an example is boys who are born effeminate. Naturally, they are born like that. Not all boys who are effeminate are gays. Some of them naturally, the way they speak, the way they walk, irrespective of how their parents try to make them look masculine, that is how their nature is. So because of gender identity, because of pressure for them to look like their peers, they might want to hide that part, which will not bring out the best in them. Now, toxic relationship, it can foster relationship based on power and performance rather than on genuine relationship. So because of gender roles or the roles that have been apportioned, example in marriages, a man feels like I'm not supposed to help my wife in the kitchen. I'm not supposed to help my wife take care of kids. A woman also feels like there is so much pressure on me. I have to do this and I have to do that. It will really affect the relationship they have. It will not foster the relationship. It will make the relationship a pleasant one. Then perpetuating inequalities, it reinforces sexism, homophobia, and transphobia. And then the fifth one says that it limits human potential. We lose out on the contribution of people who are pushed away from their true talent and interests. Exactly. So the person is not allowed to be their true self. And for that reason, they try to mimic others. They begin to live false lives. So we have a lot of youth out there who are trying to claim they are rich, they are from rich homes. These are just because of the gender role and then the pressure on them. It is expected that a girl at the age of 22, you're supposed to have this, you're supposed to do that. And then if they don't have it, they will try to live false kind of lifestyles. And then at the end of the day, the things that they could have actually done and then be successful at, they won't do it. They will end up living all kind of lifestyles, which would not be good for them. Please, the next slide. Now, solutions to peer pressure and gender roles. The first thing is that you have to build self-confidence and know your value. So in our previous presentation, those who presented, the Takrady people, they were talking about how to interact with our adolescents and the rest. So we have to build the self-confidence in them, and then we should let them know their value. In as much as you are a man, in as much as you are a woman, you don't have to let the society put a lot of pressure on you to behave in a certain way, but you have to be yourself. And it also applies to even with the grown-ups. If you have given birth, you shouldn't let society put pressure on you to look a certain way. Try your best for your own self to look healthy. But you should know that a lot has gone into bringing a child into the world. So if your tummy does not go back to its pre-pregnancy state, it is not bad. Now, born, you know, kill person. And then the second one is that choose friends who respect your individuality. You should find yourself, or you should select people who understand you and then will allow you to be yourself, not friends or people who would force you to be like them. They should understand that we are all not the same. So we also need to train up our kids, our adolescents, so that they will know that they are unique in nature. They have their strength and they also have their weaknesses. Where they find themselves weak, other people find themselves strong. And where other people find themselves weak, they are also strong. So we come together and then we create that bond. Nobody should force their nature on them. So we have to also try to understand this. And then you have to also learn to say no without guilt. So if you are being forced to live a certain life, that it still goes back to the adolescents. If we have to also train them to know that if they are being forced to do something that is not them, to try to do, as we spoke about the negative peer pressure, you are being forced to smoke because you are a man. You are being forced to pick girlfriends because you are a man. You are being forced to drink. They should learn to say no without guilt. And then seek support from trusted people. We have to also seek support from trusted people. Our adolescents need to trust us enough to seek support from us. We as adults should also seek support from trusted people, so that at the end of the day, we don't become depressed and then lose ourselves. And then educate others and challenge harmful stereotypes. So in case you have a child who is a male, and then as I already said, it's effeminate in nature, and people are trying to call the child names and the rest, you need to build a child's confidence. And you also need to put those people in their places. You need to make them know that what they are doing is not right for your child. You don't need to just let people go away with saying certain things about your child. And then we teach them gradually to grow into their roles. Please, the next slide. Now, key points to take away. Peer pressure is a powerful force in reinforcing or challenging gender roles. So we are saying that peer pressure is a powerful force. It can make or unmake an individual. Awareness and education help young people to recognize when peer influence is harmful. So we should always make our adolescents or our young individuals know that peer pressure can be good and can also be bad. So they should look out for the good ones, and then they should also be able to say no to the bad ones. And then supportive peer groups can promote healthier, more inclusive identities. We should let our adolescents, or we ourselves as adults should know that it is necessary. Nobody is an island. It is necessary that we find ourselves in cycles of friends. But then the kind of people we find ourselves in should have a positive influence on us, not have a negative influence on us. So if you find yourself in a cycle of friends who are always trying to live a kind of false life, you also definitely end up living a false life. Please, the next slide. Okay, so these are our references. Thank you very much for your audience. And we want to pause here and wait for any questions. Thank you.
Questions, contributions?
Good evening, sister. So this is Peter.
Good evening.
August Badge. This is Konika presenting. Please, the first slide. Please, can you go to the first slide? Okay, so with our presentation, this is the introduction. So as we all know, adolescence is the stage between 10 to 19 years, according to the World Health Organization. And then during this period, young people experience physical, emotional, and then social changes.
Please, what topic are you presenting on?
Adolescent reproductive health services. Please, can you take us back to the first so that I can probably
Who is presenting?
Ma, it's Konika.
From where?
Keta Center, August and January Badge.
Okay. Keta. Konita. Continue. Grace, off your video. Grace Esiwa. I'm no longer hearing you. Please continue. I'm not hearing.
Hello, sister. It seems the network took care of about takeover.
Okay. Are you in the same group?
Yes, please.
Okay, you can continue.
Okay, so, please, I'm Vivian and I'm King.
Where are you presenting from?
Please, I'm Vivian, Keta Center, January and August batch.
Okay.
Okay. So we are presenting our adolescents reproductive services. So our introduction. Adolescence is the stage between 10 to 19 years, according to the World Health Organization. During this period, young people experience physical, emotional, and social changes. Access to reproductive health services help adolescents to make safe and informed decisions about their sexual and reproductive health. Adolescence is a critical transition period, a time of immense physical, emotional, and social changes. It is when individuals form identities, experience puberty, and often become curious about or engage in relationships. Yet, it is also a time of significant vulnerability. Millions of young people around the world lack access to the information and services they need to navigate these stages safely. In this presentation, we will explore what specialized reproductive health services for adolescents look like, why they are so crucial for their development, and the barriers that prevent young people from accessing the care they deserve. Please, next slide. Hello. Hello, sister. Oh, network.
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello. Oh, okay, please, next slide,
not
please.
ready. The slide is not moving. It seems you are not ready.
Sister, sister, please, we are ready, but it's the network.
Network, the
please,
slide is not moving.
Please, next slide, the one. Hello, please, the sister projecting the slide for us.
You should have
Hello, Sister Mercy, please, are you there?
The slide, you should have been there to control the slide by yourself. You present.
Sister, please, I don't have a laptop, that's why.
And you are presenting. The slide is somewhere else. You are somewhere else. Network.
Sister, please, we are sorry. It seems your network took her off.
Abdul Kari, off that slide, off that video. Abdul Kari, off that video. Aisha too, off that video.
Hello, Sister Mercy, please, next slide.
Wariki, off that video. I don't know, maybe today is the first day of entering this lecture. Wariki too. Hamidu, off that video.
Hello, sister, please, next slide, please. Okay, so sorry, please, sorry. So please, our presentation objectives. Okay. Please, our presentation objectives.
You have passed this stage.
Define.
You have passed this stage. You read from the beginning of the first slide to the end. So you have passed the objective stage. Please, if you are
Sorry. So please, our definition of adolescent reproductive. Sister, please, we are ready.
You are not.
Sister, please, we are sorry. Definition of adolescent reproductive health. Adolescent reproductive health refers to the physical, mental, and social well-being of adolescents in matters relating to the reproductive system and sexuality, includes sexual health education. So normally when the adolescents come to our facility, we give them talk on safe sex and also prevention of sexually transmitted infection. So we give them talk on sexually transmitted infections, and we let them know some of the sexually transmitted diseases that exist. And also we talk to them about family planning services. We talk to them about the family planning services that we have at our facility. And also we talk to them about maternal care for pregnant adolescents. Please, next slide. So we now move to the importance of adolescent reproductive health services. So to prevent early and unintended pregnancy. So when they come to our place, we talk to the adolescents about family planning. So we want the adolescent to complete their school successfully. So we talk to them about family planning, so that when they do the family planning, they will not get pregnant, for them to complete their school successfully. Secondly, reduce sexually transmitted infection. Although most of our adolescents, as we know, they are scared of getting pregnant, but they are not scared of getting STIs. So we talk to them about sexually transmitted infection by the means of using condoms. So it's only condoms for the protection that can only prevent STIs, and also promote safe sex behaviors and reduces maternal morbidity and mortality. So we don't want these children to get pregnant, and at the end of the day, they'll go and do unsafe abortion, and they will die. So we talk to them also about maternal morbidity and mortality, and also improve future reproductive health. Please, next slide. So 4, that's components of adolescent reproductive health services. So we have sexuality education. So in the sexuality education, we have education about puberty, relationship, and safe sex. So we talk to them about safe sex. We talk to them about puberty. We know most of our adolescents, when they get to puberty, they don't know how much to cater for themselves. So we talk to them about personal hygiene, when they have their menses, how they should take good care of themselves, how to change their pad, how to dispose it. So we give them all education about all those things. And we talk family planning services too. So we give them family planning services on all the methods that we have in order for us to prevent teenage pregnancy. Information and access to contraceptives, as I already said. So we talk to them about the contraceptives that we have at our facility, including condoms. And the next step is STI prevention, testing, counseling, and treatment of infection. So we know most of them doesn't know that when they sleep with someone, they will get infections. So we talk to them about the STIs, how they will prevent STIs. So by the use of the condom, and also personal hygiene, how they will wash their panties well, how they will dry it under the sun, so that in case there is any infection, it will kill it. And also counseling services and emotional and psychological support for adolescents. So sometimes too, we involve other people to come and talk to them about psychologically what they are supposed to do, the support that they need from both parents and from other people, and also maternal health care. Antenatal delivery, talk to them about antenatal delivery and postnatal care for pregnant adolescents. So when the adolescent is pregnant, we take them through antenatal, through delivery and postnatal care when they are pregnant, and safe abortion and post-abortion care where legally permitted. So in case our adolescents are pregnant, most of our facility are doing CAC services, like the safe abortion care services. So in case they are pregnant, we talk to them about it. So if the adolescent doesn't want to keep the pregnancy, we will do it for them safely at the facility, in order not for them to go and do it outside, for it to cause death or cause any complications, sepsis will set in. So we do it for them at our facility. And also the post-abortion care, the care we need to give to them, we give them antibiotics just to protect them in order for them not to get infections. Please, next slide. Step 5, common reproductive health problems among adolescents. That's early pregnancy. And we have unsafe abortion, as I already said. So if we don't talk to them about family planning and other services that we have about safe sex, they will go and do abortion outside, and it will end up in unsafe abortion. Sexually transmitted infections. So when we talk to these adolescents about sexually transmitted infection, they will protect themselves well in order not to get these diseases. And we have sexual abuse, lack of accurate sexual health information. Please, next slide. So, barriers to accessing services. So some of the things that hinder the adolescents in order not for them to get access to the services. So we have cultural and religious beliefs. And we know that some of our religious or churches, they don't allow our youth, or they don't allow their members to do family planning. And some of the cultures too, they don't allow them to do some of the family planning, or let me say family planning services. And also we have this stigma and discrimination. So some, they think that when they come to the facility, their friends will be laughing at them that this person is going to do family planning, this person is going to do this and that. That's why they are coming to us. And also lack of youth-friendly health services. So in our facilities in the community, if we lack the youth-friendly health services that will provide these services to the adolescents, that one too is a barrier. And we have poor knowledge about reproductive health. So if this youth or these our dear adolescents are not having much knowledge about, are not having much knowledge that when they access the facility or this our adolescent health facility, it will rather help them to have a good future. That one too will be a barrier. And also fear of lack of confidence. And we know that most of our adolescents or our youths, they lack confidence. So if such an adolescent is having lack of confidence, that one too can be a barrier to accessing the services. Please, next slide. Seven, strategies to improve adolescent reproductive health services. We have one, establish youth-friendly clinic. So in most of our clinic, if there is no youth-friendly clinics over there, then we have to establish one over there that will help the youth. Secondly, we provide comprehensive sexuality education in schools. So in our schools, the tutors or NGOs have to make sure that, or we, the health workers, have to make sure that there is there is sex education that goes on in the school that will help our adolescents. Thirdly, we encourage parent-adolescent communication. We know most of our parents in the house, they don't have time for these adolescents. When they go to work, they are tired. When they come home, they are also busy doing other things, especially our fathers. When they go to work and come home, they don't even have time for we, the youths. They are always maybe watching television and other things. And when the adolescents go to them, they'll tell, oh, go to your mother. Meanwhile, at that time, the mother is also busy at the kitchen cooking after work. So she will also tell you, don't come and disturb me. So because of that lack of communication, so we encourage the parents should rather the adolescents should be their best friends, so that in case of anything, they will communicate with them better. Sorry. So we have trained health workers to provide non-judgmental care. So in our facilities, they will select some of the health workers that they will train, that when these youths come, or when these adolescent girls and gents come, they will not judge them, because most of our health workers, or most of we health workers, when the adolescents come, especially when they are pregnant, they will be insulting them. Why? Is your parents not alive? Are your parents not taking care of you? So why is it that you went for this boy to get you pregnant? Or why are you coming to ask for these services? So we will train health workers to provide non-judgmental care, so that when these adolescents come to us, we know how best to handle them, so that they will not go wayward. Increase community awareness. So in the community, we can organize derbes. So the derbes, we talk to them about this adolescent reproductive health service to them. We communicate it to them, so that they will also be aware of it. So that in case maybe our adolescents are in the community, they can also talk to them about teenage pregnancy, and when they are going wayward, they can also correct them. And we have organizations such as the United Nations Population Fund supports many adolescent reproductive health programs globally. So we know we have some NGOs that support these adolescent friendlies. So in case we get them involved, they will also support our adolescents in the reproductive, because we need most of the things in terms of counseling, lots of things. So we'll get them involved. Thank you. Please, next slide. Roles of health roles of health workers, especially midwives. So provide accurate reproductive health education. So when these youth come to us, whether the ladies or the gents, they come to us, we have to provide accurate reproductive health education, the things they need to hear, so that they will not go wayward. And also we offer confidence counseling. So we want our youth or our adolescents to be self-confidence. They have to have that confidence, that boldness to enter or to come to us anytime they need counseling. Thirdly, promote contraceptive use. So when they come to us, we talk to them about family planning, so that when they also hear it, they can go and talk to their peers about family planning, especially to those who are already indulged in sexual activities. 4, manage adolescent pregnancy. So when our adolescents are pregnant and they come to us, we have to manage them through antenatal, delivery, and postnatal. And refer complicated cases for specialized care. So if we see our adolescents who need specialized care, we have to refer them, or who are having complication issues, we have to refer them. Please, next slide. So we have WHO guidelines. So WHO guidelines on preventing early pregnancy and poor reproductive outcomes among adolescents in low and middle income countries. That's Geneva World Health Organization 2025. And also we have competency and outcomes framework for adolescent health and well-being. That's World Health Organization, October 2025. This document outlines the specific competencies health workers need to provide quality care, including for sexual and reproductive health. Updates updated WHO guidelines on preventing early pregnancies and poor reproductive outcome among adolescents in low and middle income countries. Please, next slide. Sister, please, I'll pause here for one of our colleagues to continue. Thank you.
Okay. Please be fast, because when it is time,
okay, the sister, you let me.
Internet will go off. Once it is time, this meeting is set
Continue.
on time. So be fast. I have a question to ask.
Okay, fear and stigma. The overwhelming fear of being seen by a family member, neighbor, or teacher at a clinic is one of the most cited reasons for avoiding services. Knowledge and information gaps. Many adolescents simply do not know where to go, what services exist, or that they have a right to access care without a parent. 3. Transportation difficulties. The distance to the nearest facility combined with the cost and logistics of traveling prevents many, especially in rural areas, from seeking help. Please, I'm not explaining because of the time. 4. Financial constraints. Lack of personal income means adolescents must rely on parents for money, which requires explaining why the funds are needed, a major deterrent. 5. Negative attitude of providers. The anticipation of experience of being shamed, lectured, or scolded by the healthcare workers discourages adolescents from seeking care again. Please, next slide. 6. Lack of decision-making autonomy. In many cultures, adolescents, especially girls, cannot make independent health decisions and must defer to parents or husbands who may refuse permission. 7. Misinformation and might. Beliefs that contraceptive cause infertility or that only promiscuation. People need STI testing prevent adolescents from seeking accurate information or treatment. 8. Low risk perception. Many adolescents do not perceive themselves as being at risk for pregnancy or STIs, often due to lack of comprehensive sexuality education. 9. Community and cultural norms. In conservative communities, accessing reproductive health services can be seen as taboo or shameful, leading to social ostracism if discovered. 10. Lack of partner or family support. Without supporting from a partner, parent, or trusted adult, adolescents often lack the encouragement or permission needed to overcome their hesitation and seek services. Please, next slide. Okay. In conclusion, adolescent reproductive health services are essential for protecting the health and future of young people. Providing accessible, confidential, and youth-friendly services helps adolescents make informed decisions and reduces reproductive health problems. Please, the adolescents is both gents and ladies, not only for ladies.
Is that all? Have you finished?
Please, please, next slide. Okay. Please, these are references.
Okay. Please go back to slide number 6. Slide number 6. Slide number 6.
Please, number 6.
Okay. Barriers to accessing services. The person who explained before you, I want to hear the explanation for fear of lack of confidentiality. She explained, but I did not understand her explanation. Please let her explain that place again. Fear of lack of confidentiality. She explained it all. And then there has been a question whether the adolescent services is for only females, because we've been hearing of pregnancy. Are males also involved in adolescent pregnancy?
Please.
Or is the service for girls only?
No, sister, please, it's both for females and the gents. It's for male and females, not only for the females.
Then why is the emphasis on the females?
Oh, sorry, sister.
And then let me hear the explanation for this fear of lack of confidentiality.
Please,
the first
okay,
person,
sister,
the first person who explained before Vivian took over for the second time. Let that first person explain.
Connie.
She explained it to me, but I'm not satisfied with her explanation. Or can another person explain so that others will understand?
Yes, sister, please, let me try and explain it. Sister, please, when we talk of fear of lack of confidentiality, it's referring to the adolescents.
How many people are talking at the same time? Please, one person at a time. We have 2 minutes more.
Okay, sister.
The adolescents fear that when the time confound in us, we will send the information out if they are telling their teachers or their parents. So they fear coming to talk to us because they can't predict our outcome. They don't know what exactly we will do with the information. They are afraid that we'll trace them and go and leak the information to people they don't want the information to get to.
Okay. That's better. That was not what she explained, but your explanation is better. So fear of lack of confidentiality. They are afraid that the information will not be kept confidential. So, but that was not what she explained to us. So, but this second explanation is better because of fear that the information will not be kept secret. They won't come to us. Okay, so thank you for your contributions for today. We hope to meet next week by God's grace. So for all the groups that have not presented, please, next week you will all present. Next week by God's grace. So come in early. God bless you all. Thank you for your contributions. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. God bless you too.
Bye-bye, sister.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.